Good afternoon, colleagues. Item 6 is a public hearing on the FY22 capital budget and improvement to Montgomery County Public Schools FY21 to 26 capital improvements programs, transfer of funds for the Charles W. Woodward High School reopening project. The action for this is tentatively scheduled for November 2nd, and persons wishing to submit additional material for the council's consideration should do so before the close of business today. There are no speakers for item 6, so the public hearing is now closed. Item 7 is a public hearing on the FY22 supplemental appropriations and amendments to Montgomery County Public Schools FY21 to 26 capital improvements program transfer of funds capital projects. Action is tentatively scheduled for November 2nd, and we have one speaker for item 7. That's David Griffith. Merche, could you call our speaker, please?
Yes, Mr. Griffith, you have 2 minutes for your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready, sir.
Great. Thank you, Council Chairman. Thank you, Council members. My name is David Griffith. I am the president of the Poolesville High School PTSA. I want to express our organizational support for the transfer of funds to the Poolesville High School capital project that you are currently considering today. While we support this increased funding, we do lament that these funds are for higher construction costs and not to fix the inequities in this project. As you may know, our high school gym is the size of a middle school gym in terms of dimensions and capacity. It is half the size of any other high school gym in the county. What this means is that our boys and girls basketball teams can't practice at the same time, the only high school teams in the county where this is the case, and spectators have been turned away because of our gym seating capacity. Somehow in modernizing our school, MCPS looked at the gym and determined that no work was needed and it was totally fine as is. Similarly, none of our other athletic facilities are being improved or modernized. Poolesville is the first and only high school not to have their athletic facilities upgraded when their school is being modernized. This indifference and inaction of our school facilities is a long-standing pattern with Poolesville. When John Poole Middle School was built 25 years ago, it was built without a gym. Can you imagine a 21st century middle school without a gym? Only in Montgomery County and only in Poolesville. MCPS is just now calculating the cost of addressing the gym expansion, but no numbers are given, no decisions have been made, no commitments have been offered, and it doesn't include the outdoor facilities. We strongly encourage the council to support and provide future funds in the FY23 budget to comprehensively address these capital project inequities. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Griffith. And that's our one speaker, so I'll turn it over.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith. Thank you, Mershai. This public hearing is now closed. So now the council can sit for district council. Item 8A is the introduction of Subdivision Regulation Amendment 2102, Administrative Subdivision Biohealth Priority Campus. There's Ms. Ndu. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Council President?
Good, thank you. The floor is yours.
So SRA 2102, it accompanies ZTA 2109, which was introduced last week and establishes the Biohealth Priority Campus. So that ZTA is going to create a streamlined regulatory process for biohealth facilities. What the SRA does is it regulates the subdivision regulations so that the campus can go through the preliminary plan of subdivision because that takes additional time and will conflict with the expedited process. So it's basically making sure the zoning code and the subdivision code match up so that the process will actually be streamlined.
Thank you. Okay, any questions on that item? All right, without objection, that item is introduced. Thank you so much, Ms. Ndu. So on item 9A, we had originally scheduled a call a bill for final reading, but that item has been rescheduled to next week. We look forward to the discussion of that item. And then item 10 is action on WSSC's FY 2023 spending control limits. As the T&E chair, let me update everyone on a moving target here. On October 21st, the T&E committee held a work session on WSSC spending control limits, as we do each year. Our original meeting on October 14th was postponed when the county executive failed to transmit his recommendations on WSSC spending control limits prior to the committee's work session. As a reminder, we all still find ourselves in the middle of a historic and ongoing recession. We still have 6% unemployment, and that means we have rates 2 to 3 times higher than that in certain parts of the county. I know East County had an unemployment rate 3 times higher than the county average pre-COVID, and I certainly imagine they still do. Our small businesses have been suffering greatly. We've lost far too many of them, and many others are still hanging by a thread and struggling to bring back customers and to pay their rent and utilities. Due to the extended recession, this county council has continued free bus service, and we have capped rent increases because so many of our residents are struggling to return to work and to keep paying their household expenses. So in my view, this was the wrong time for a 9% rate increase, as WSSC had requested. The T&E committee considered the impact of increasing those rates on both our residential and commercial and customers. And of course, as a reminder, we've approved many years in a row of rate increases above the rate of inflation. We had a vigorous T&E work session on this. We were troubled by the fact that WSSC has never received any state or federal funding through the whole pandemic, although many millions of dollars were distributed by the federal government for water utilities specifically. So we asked staff to get us more information on that issue, and we also charged staff with writing a letter to the governor's office and to our delegation to ask them to make sure all federal funds passed through the state to water utilities actually make their way to WSSC, and to ask for state funding as well, since WSSC, of course, was created in state law and is primarily regulated by the state, not by the county. We also discussed why WSSC has much higher number of delinquent accounts than other water utilities, and the fact that they had proposed a 4.5% salary increase for their management as well as the workers. So to protect our residential ratepayers and our small businesses, the T&E committee agreed to cut their request down to a maximum of 6%, not 9% as WSSC requested. And that was our unanimous recommendation for the spending control limits. I also need to update everyone that I've been in touch today twice with the chair of the Prince George's County Council. The Prince George's County Council had approved a 7% spending control limit and had offered to split the difference with us. I told them this morning that I certainly had no problem with that, and I was happy to propose that to colleagues. I will remind everyone that under state law, if the two councils don't agree, this proposed spending limit that WSSC proposes, in this case 9%, goes into effect. So we propose 6, the committee. The Prince George's County Council proposed 7. I would suggest that we approve 6.5%. And since I spoke with Chairman Hawkins at 10 this morning, he's also now informed me that he proposed, and the Prince George's County Council in its entirety approved 6.5% earlier today after we spoke. So as loyal as I am to the T&E committee, I think they did their job here, and I would recommend we approve spending control limits at 6.5% to match what Prince George's County Council has already done, and then we will be in harmony, and we can move forward with that spending control limit. Colleagues or Mr. Levchenko? Mr. Levchenko.
Sorry, I just wanted to clarify the actual limits that the 6.5% rate increase would involve, but I can go into that after council members have had a chance to talk.
Okay, Councilmember Glass.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I appreciate your leadership on this issue and the collaboration with the Prince George's Council. I'll speak for myself that I don't think the T&E committee feels like chopped liver over your deliberations with Prince George's, but it is fruitful dialogue, and you stated what state law is in this regard. And just to fill everybody else in, it was a really good conversation, a substantive one that we had, trying to get into the weeds of how our WSSC policymaking works, and basically all the different cycles and basically areas that we as the county versus our state lawmakers have, where we can apply pressure. And so I think it actually sparked more conversation that will occur to work with folks in Annapolis to maybe streamline some of these efforts and find more efficiencies. And as you even noted during that committee session, finding some more funding streams and releasing some of the pressure that might be in various budgetary pockets to help with some of these efforts. So a good conversation, and I think we've landed at a really good spot ultimately to make sure that the ratepayers and our constituents don't get hosed during this important time. So thank you.
No pun intended. Okay, anybody else? Okay, great. Thank you for your kind comments. Yes, I think there's a lot that could be improved about the state law after spending 8 years on that delegation committee and 4 years chairing it. Much of that hasn't been updated since the 70s. And I will say, while there's probably things we would disagree on, the whole idea that if the Prince George's County Council and the Montgomery County Council disagree, even by 0.1%, the recommended increase from WSSC automatically goes into effect really makes no sense, because it takes power away from the elected leadership and therefore from the public. So I've asked Delegate Carr, who chairs that committee, to introduce legislation to address that. And Melanie's drafting that up, and I expect to have that as part of the legislative package going into this year. But no, right now I think we're at 6.5%. I can't make a motion, but I'd certainly entertain a motion to set the spending control limits at that level.
So moved.
Just before Mr. Glass does that, let me actually read what the limits are based on this, so that it's clear what the council is voting on. So you've already mentioned the 6.5% rate increase. The new debt and debt service would not change from what was recommended by the committee, and in fact that is what was in the base case. The new debt would be $430,093,000. Debt service would be $328,423,000. The one number that does change is the total water and sewer operating expenses. The new number, based on the 6.5% rate increase, would be $859,374,000. That is about a $19.5 million reduction from the base case. You may recall that under the 7%, it was about 23 million or so. So the 6.5% provides just a 0.5% more revenue. So the water and sewer operating expenses then is the 859,374,000. That's the change that the committee would be, or that the council would be supporting with the 6.5% rate increase. So that's how we would frame the resolution that would be adopted from this action.
And again, as a reminder, this is just a preliminary spending cap, and we're charging Mr. Lubchenco with writing the letter to the drafting that letter for everyone's approval to the governor and the delegation, making sure that they're taking advantage of all the federal funding that has been out there, and that they're addressing some of these unanswered questions about the proposed management pay increase and the very high number of delinquent accounts at WSSC compared to their regional partners at DC Water and at Fairfax Water and Sewer. Okay, so Mr. Glass has moved. Is there a second? Councilmember Katz. Okay, 6.5%. Everybody who is for that as their spending control limits, please raise your hand. That is unanimous. Okay. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, was that a hand vote or a roll call?
It was a hand vote.
Okay, great. Okay, everybody, good day's work. That is our last item, so we are now adjourned. Thanks, everybody.